What is going on, guys? We are back with another video here with the dyno. This dyno is always busy and I don't always make a video every time. I was thinking about making a video, but this car was just, let's start from the beginning. We have Jason's 03 Cobra 10th anniversary car. The car is absolutely beautiful. And Blake from Certified Rippers and Awesome Polish and K&J, they recommended him to me for tuning, but he had a stock Eaton, so they actually swapped his blower over here. It took a little bit longer than normal, but they got the blower swapped and we were gonna make some dyno pulls late at night, but we ran into some issues. I didn't film any of this. I think Blake has some of it on his YouTube channel, but I came in here this morning. I was like, all right, well, let me knock out the tune. We made like 570 with like no timing. It was like 13, 14 degrees. But when it came down on decel, dude, the pumps died. And if you guys have been watching this channel 6 years ago, this is crazy how I'm now in the other person's shoes, but 6 years ago, I drove my Cobra all the way to Kurgan Motorsports, 7 hours away, getting my Cobra tuned. Put the tune in it after a long drive, and my fuel pumps died.
Think that's a problem right there?
Is the fuse still out?
A few moments later.
So we dropped the tank again.
Blew another hole in another spot.
Wow.
The other non-line, factory line.
We replaced the line. Well, they did. Replaced the line, and then they started it up, and it burst the line again. So we were forced to do some SVT focus pumps that he had laying around. So, yeah. That was a big mess. Now Jason is, in my shoes from there, and then I'm in Bob's, Kurgan's place. And yeah, so basically I'm pretty positive this did the exact same thing, burst the lines, fuel pump duty cycles max, trying to just get it to start. Sounds like a line burst, and my best recommendation, being that the car's here, he's got time, is we're gonna do a fuel system. He doesn't plan to really push E85 or go crazy with it, so I think we're gonna do the budget lethal return system. So I'll walk you through the process of that, and then obviously finally tuning it out. This car is on a stock ECU, so we're tuning it with SCT as opposed to the MS3, which I showed you guys a bunch lately. But yeah, I'll bring you through that, but let's check out the car real quick. 03 Cobra 10th anniversary. Brings me back the nostalgia of the 10th annie seats, because you guys remember my Red Fire Cobra had those. 10th annie steering wheel, the whole nine. So the car is beautiful. It's got this nice 2.3 Whipple on it. It's got a lot of the really nice Cobra modifications. If you guys don't know, the coil cover's off, so we get tack signal. That's how you do it on the dyno. His coil cover is off to the side somewhere. 60-pound injectors, SCT 26, BA 2600 MAF, really simple combo. We made 570 pretty much on the second pull with no timing in it. I was kind of getting ready to, put some timing in it, 15 degrees, 16, see where it's happy. And it was probably gonna make right about 600, but the old pumps just die. This car has a fuel pump booster and they're just tapped. It's just how it goes. I will bring you guys along with the journey. We got to drop the tank. I got to get some parts on the way, so I'll be picking up this video in a few days. But this is now the 4th Cobra that has come in here with fuel system problems. If you guys have a Cobra, ditch the stock fuel system. or replace pumps or something, because 20-year-old pumps, they're not gonna last, and you're gonna have a bad day when you get on the dyno and your pumps are dead. It happened to Javier, Cody, this car, and I think there was a fourth one. I don't know. Replace your fuel pumps, do a return fuel system. I'll have a link down in the description to the system that we're using in this car. Just get it done. I also highly recommend getting rid of stock ECU, but like I said, we can tune on stock ECU as well. All right, so getting the tank pulled, and we'll see if my hypothesis is right. All right, so I like it when I'm right. I didn't even have to, I diagged the fuses, made sure everything was good, but the line's just broken, popped right there. Same thing as my Terminator did. Didn't pop the line as bad, but yeah. That would be that. Splashy, splashy. So, see if we can get a better look at that. These lines are just old, brittle. The Terminators, they're old at this point. And these lines, could this car be fixed with a simple line job? Possibly, but you know, the fuel system, it's worth doing at this point. These pups are 20 years old. So we got the lethal budget return system. Stock level sender goes right on there. I'm glad we got a, you know, satisfying conclusion there. I don't see any other tears, but that's your main feed line, and that's why the car still started a little bit, but you can see that it was basically just pressurizing itself. And yeah, so we'll get the lethal setup ready to go, dual 465s, and we'll be good to go. I know what's wrong with it, and I ain't got no gas in it. All right guys, so we got the assembled Division X hat. They actually changed this quite a bit from the design I'm used to, and that we did in my Red Fire Terminator back in the day, if you guys remember watching that. But there's no longer the fuel line in here. It sits in this little kind of AN type fitting right there. It's got some O-rings, and you no longer can adjust height up and down, which is good because there's only one way to have the height of the pumps. So we're gonna go ahead and drop this in, get a new gasket on there. This is the budget system, so we're using the stock feed line to feed the rail, and we're running a return throughout the car. I'll show you guys how that looks, but it's a pretty easy system to install. It's back. It's back on the dyno. Okie dokie. Moving in the right direction. 569, 528. It's got no timing in it, but air fuel's looking pretty dang good. I'm pretty happy with that. 11.6 kind of locks in. Add a little fuel on tipping. Solid. Okay guys, so we just finished with Jason's 10th anniversary Terminator Cobra. Like I said before, Blake and Ken came over here, they swapped the blower on, we put it on and put it on the dyno that night. It was just too late. There was a weird thing going on with the injectors. These are 60-pound Deca injectors. I am now no longer a big fan of them because they're kind of like, you got to use the Ford racing data. And I was having a rich idle condition, which is what was stumping me that night. And I said, hey guys, let's hold off. Next day, the idle was still rich, but everything else was stowage perfect, and wide open throttle was dialed. It went 11.3 air fuel ratio, made 570. And when the car came down, fuel pump died. You guys saw that line burst, and the most efficient and best way to get this fixed and safe is to do a return style fuel system. So that's what we did. Got the car tuned up today. SCT is a battle sometimes, but those 60-pound injectors were kind of a pain in the butt. But we got it all tuned out. It runs, it drives good, it idles good. I will say those 60-pound injectors, maybe I'm just spoiled from FIC 1000s or ID 1050Xs and really good quality injectors and LU 47s. They just don't idle perfect. It idles at stowage, but it gets like these weird little, I don't know, it's just not perfect. If you guys are doing this, FIC 1000s, they're fairly cheap compared to what these Deca 60s cost. They're $400 for these Deca 60s. There's $700 FIC 1000s, million times better injector, or 1050X, but those are a little bit more expensive. Anyways, hopefully Jason comes, picks up the car, and we can go take it out on the street and see what he thinks. Made just about 600 wheel horsepower. We did add a little bit more timing, but it made like 607. So the best it did was a 607, but honestly, 15-degree timing peak. This thing made 600 on the dot, and I'm very happy with that. We're at about 19 pounds of boost. It peaks off at 20 up top, but realistically about 19 the whole time. This is what our graph looks like. 19 pounds of boost. We get right into that 20. You can see 20 up top. But 600 wheel, 548 torque, basically 550 torque. Super happy with that. 93 octane, super conservative, tuned with SCT. I highly, highly recommend an MS3 because it just makes everything so much better. But I can tune these things on SCT. It does take a little bit longer for me. I haven't tuned a million of them. I have the tuning knowledge, but just build the file, and now I got a semi-close file for a BA 2600, a 60-pound injector and return fuel system. But there's a lot of things to change in this SCT stuff, and a lot of workarounds and funky bugs that it has. So let's hopefully pick up tomorrow. So he's going from around 450, 470 wheel horsepower to 600. Say that's a pretty good bump. I know back in the day when I had my Red Fire Terminator, first time driving it with the VMP TVS on 93 octane, it made just about the same 600 wheel horsepower. That's pretty standard horsepower. There's more or less, but 600 with a small 2.3 liter Whipple TVS, something like that. 600 wheel horsepower is about normal. A little bit of octane booster, we could probably get this thing to like 630 pretty easily, or E85 would probably make about 670. But 93 octane, let's keep her safe. Like I said, I shoved a little bit more timing into it. It did pick up a little bit more power, but it picked up 7 horsepower, which to me, not worth it.